Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. Lordy, look who's 40. We've reached 40 episodes.
It's I didn't think we'd get here, but we keep surpassing our expectations, our life expectations.
Yeah, we're pushing along. We're having fun. Hope you guys are having fun listening. I know we enjoy making the show every week, and hope you guys look forward to listening every week. And we thank you. We love you guys. Hope you are spreading the word any way that you can, and telling your friends about the show. And if you would like to contribute to the show, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto, and you can basically throw us a couple bucks there. That helps to improve the show and improve our gear, make us sound better for you guys, make us sound better for us as well. But if you want to give us some love there, that's buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. And on the last episode, we spoke with the Halloween huntress, Jade the Libra. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her on the Halloween Forever group on Facebook. But definitely check out her YouTube page. She basically, hits all the spots in the city and lets you know where all the Halloween goods are. And Steve turned me on to her videos a while back, and now I've been following them. She usually puts out one every week or so, seems like. And yeah, she's cranking out a lot of content. So we spoke to her and her husband Dallas about Halloween hunting and decor, but also the music that they create together. They have a group called Shadow Figures, and it's like synthy horror music, like synthy horror soundtrack. So it's like if you were running from some zombies, you'd probably want to put in some little earbuds and listen to Shadow Figures while you're running from them. I mean, maybe have one in so you can still hear like how close they are to eating you and tearing you apart. But you want to have one in so you at least listen to something good before you go.
Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling like Blade fight scene soundtrack or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's good, man. Check them out. Jade the Libra, her YouTube channel. She's also on Instagram. Like you said, she posts videos weekly, almost twice a week sometimes, of her like going out searching for Halloween decor and all that good stuff. She posts other stuff too. She does videos like beauty videos, and she'll do just decorating videos. And like I found myself watching videos of her like cleaning her car. It's like she's just an entertaining person. She's funny. She got a cool personality. She makes you laugh.
She'll do the book videos are cool too.
She has her spooky book club. Yeah.
Yep. She'll hype up books that are coming out, or different things. So there's some variety on the channel. So just go check out Jade the Libra on YouTube, and tell her that Steve Crypto sent you.
Yeah.
It was nice to have her on and have us be her very first podcast. That was kind of a surprise. Like, really, as long as you've been doing your Halloween hunting thing, like, you haven't been on a show yet. So we're honored to be the first one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. It's like we're literally coming up on our first year anniversary of the show. I think we launched our first episode on August 30th of last year, which is actually falls on the same weekend as what we're doing this episode for. This episode, we're going to be talking to some vendors and artists from our my personal local favorite convention, my favorite convention in general. I've been trying to drag crypto to for years, and I think finally this year we got them to do it.
Oh, it's not like I'm against it whatsoever. I've been wanting to go, believe me.
Yeah, Crypticon. Seattle Crypticon is the end of this month. And like I said, we have a couple vendors, a retailer, an author, a couple artists. They're going to tell us about what they do and what they're going to be bringing to the show. So that's going to be on this episode. We got a few segments with them. A lot of cool things. That weekend is actually the same weekend, since we're talking about spooky stuff and Halloween time coming. And we got some good horror movies coming out. We got the new Halloween movie. And like I said, the same weekend as Crypticon is the new Candyman movie.
Yeah, pretty excited for that one. I would be excited for Candyman regardless, but it's cool to see that Jordan Peele is the man behind the whole film and whatnot, or at least he's writing it.
Is he?
I believe, yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
Is he writing or producing? Which one? Writing or producing?
Is he involved? I didn't even know he was involved, but that's awesome.
Well, I'm
cool with
that. Yeah, I've been reading about this for months, and I know he's been heavily involved. I'm pretty sure he's been writing it.
Yeah, I've just been hyped that we're gonna get some Tony Todd. So
right. What I'm saying is, like, I'd be happy regardless, no matter who's doing it. But knowing that Jordan is involved and he has definitely shown his love for horror before, him and Keegan both, they love the genre. It gives you a little bit more faith in the project, when somebody, it's not just Joe Schmo trying to make a buck, picking up the franchise. It's someone who actually is into it and loves horror and, loves the genre like we do, that's behind it. It gives you a little more hope.
Okay, not to backtrack too much, but
yeah.
I guess he did write and he is producing.
Okay,
but
so
it's
both.
being
check.
I think it's directed by Nia DaCosta, who I'm not very familiar with. I have to research that person, but I'm excited. Candyman, I think it's August 27th.
Yeah, we're getting Halloween Kills and Candyman both in the spooky season, but Candyman's coming up first. And I know that, like I've said before, I need to have my horror decor and my horror duds, my horror clothing.
Gotta have the gear,
gotta have it the proper fright rags on.
The right getup.
Right. So with that in mind, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Fright Rags, of course, frightrags.com. And they actually have the officially licensed Nia DaCosta Candyman collection available right now. So there's 4 new Candyman designs, including the Be My Victim design. The Be My Victim from artist Kyle Crawford. Check it out on the Fright Rags social media site now.
And if you guys don't know about Fright Rags, they've been bringing you the best in horror apparel and accessories since 2003. They offer a wide range of products for your favorite creature features, slasher flicks, and cult classics, and just anything you think of. They've even been dabbling in just 80s hits like Back to the Future and stuff lately. Their main collections include John Carpenter's Halloween, Universal Monsters, Night of the Living Dead, Creepshow, Twin Peaks, Evil Dead, and so many more. And it's all officially licensed and available soon. Or now, in the case of the Candyman stuff, at fright-rags.com. And don't forget, Steve and Crypto Show listeners get 10% off when they use the code SteveCrypto10 at checkout.
That's right. So, just still speaking about Candyman, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. You can pick up on this if you watch the trailer. It's already out. It's been out for a while, so I don't think I'm ruining anything. Did you notice the connection between the kid, or not the kid, but the main character in this film and the original film? Like, have you noticed anything there? Like, the baby from the original is basically this guy.
What I've heard is that this might be the baby grown up, like you just said.
That's what I'm saying.
This is set to be a legit sequel.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You know, he's like, "Wow, I'm these weird visions," and then the more you watch the trailer, you pick up on that. You're like, it's the fucking baby from the original. It's really, really neat. You know, for
or maybe
horror
they're trying
fans like us.
Maybe they're trying to get us to believe that, and they're going to throw us a twist. But we'll see. I don't care. Either way, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
I'm hyped. I'm ready for it. Another cool movie I'm hyped for is the Toxic Avenger remake. I guess they just finished filming that, which is really cool. That means we'll be getting that probably in 5 years now, as long as the way freaking things are going with COVID. Like here in our area, we're actually starting to put masks back on. It's been crazy.
Yeah. I was just on the Oregon coast, and it was nice to go to the store and see that everybody was actually wearing a mask as they should.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to have to do to get everybody healthy.
Yep.
And I know, talk about Crypticon. I guess at Crypticon, people are going to be masking up in the common areas and be able to show proof of vaccination if requested. So that's cool. I'm all for that. I carry my card everywhere.
Yep. Likewise. Now, do you know any details on the celebrity signings? Like, will they be the photo ops? Will they be able to take the mask off for the photo op? They're not doing like
professional. They're not doing like professional photo ops this year, but there's going to be table selfies. But at this point, who knows if that's going to be a thing? Masked or not masked? Odds are maybe because most people there probably have been vaccinated, and I'm sure all the guests probably have been. So it might be okay to do maskless photo ops, but we'll see. I'm just going to be happy to be at a good show. One I know is not going to be overcrowded. Like some of the more pop culture leaning shows get a little packed. It can be a little too much sometimes.
This convention with that sort of has like one lane, one specific genre that's trying to hit.
Yeah,
kind of thins out the herd a little bit.
That's
not terrible.
The last weekend in August is Crypticon in Seattle. If you're in the Northwest, come out, check it out, come have some fun with us. It's going to be a blast. If you're not, like I said, this episode, we do have some vendors and artists and stuff that are telling us about their work, and you should probably check them out. We'll have all their social media credentials and their websites and stuff, so you could check it out and maybe support them, because we definitely got to support our indie creators and all that good stuff. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good show. And actually, our next episode next week, we're also going to have a guest that is also here to hype Crypticon with us that I'm very, very excited about. One of the celebrity guests from Crypticon, we're going to have Felissa Rose here talking with the show, telling us about some current projects and to talk about Crypticon and what doing these conventions mean to her and all that good stuff. So yeah, man, freaking Angela from Sleepaway Camp, the mangled dick expert from the last drive-in. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed. I missed out on this one, but I'm looking forward to listening to it. So I bet you had a blast talking to her.
It was good. We got that one in the can already, so that's going to be coming out next week for you guys to listen to. I couldn't appreciate her more for putting aside the time to chat with us before the convention. She just that excited about it that she just wanted to get on here and talk, and she's pretty awesome. She's awesome for the whole horror community, and just and she's a hard-working motherfucker.
Yeah, she's a busy lady. If you watch
constantly
the con circuit, and you see like who's out there, she's often one that's hitting just multiple cons one
and
after
appearances
the other.
And either filming or producing something or working on something. Like literally when I was talking to her, when we got done talking, she had to literally just start getting ready to pack to leave to go film a movie in New York with Kane Hodder.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open for that one. That should be pretty cool. Maybe we'll get her back here at some point to tell us about it and Maybe she'll bring Kane. Maybe we get her to bring Kane with her. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. We'll see.
He'll probably try to choke us through the screen or something.
Speaking of Kane Hodder, Friday the 13th. It was actually Friday the 13th when I conversated with Felissa Rose. But mentioned Kane Hodder, Friday the 13th. He was Jason in a handful of the Friday the 13th movies. And actually on that day, they announced a fan film coming out called 13 Fanboy. It sounds kind of intriguing. We have to look it up. I'll find a link and send it to you. And I'll share it again. I think I might have shared it on Twitter or something, but it's like apparently it's about like a crazy fan that stalks the women from the movies, and it brings back. It's going to have a bunch of like the women who acted in the movies in it throughout all the movies. So it's going to be kind of cool. Keep my eyes open for that. Yes, Crypticon. I can't keep stressing Crypticon enough. I'm getting kind of hyped for it. I'm also getting excited for the more I'm seeing the casting for the Tim Burton Addams Family. Not to jump from one topic to another, but it just came up in mind, and we were talking about it a little while ago.
They've casted Louis Guzman as
Louis Guzman.
Yep, he's Gomez. Coming in as Gomez, and then they have Catherine Zeta-Jones. She dips beneath lasers from what you call it. She's going to be in there playing Morticia.
Yep, and then an actress I don't know much about named Jenna Ortega is playing as Wednesday, which is the title character of the show. I think the show is going to be called Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's going to be a Netflix show.
A Netflix show. Okay. The more at first when I heard about, it's a Netflix show coming out like, a year ago when they announced it, I was like, oh man. Then the more I think about it, like Tim Burton's going to make it look cool at least. And then we've seen some of the stuff Netflix has done lately with like horror stuff in like the Fair Street series and all that. And I was like, okay, they could get spooky too. So they might really stick to the feel of the Addams Family well. And Louis Guzman is great.
Yeah.
I
mean, Netflix has been, like you said, they've been doing a great job lately with the horror.
Except for that freaking Army of the Dead.
I was just about to mention your favorite of them all, Army of the Dead.
No.
But let's think more about Fear Street. That series was pretty good.
That was pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if they have a date yet for the Addams Family series, but
I haven't seen one.
When I hear a date, we'll announce it on here for sure, because I'm sure some of you weirdos listening we're also enjoyed the Addams Family and are intrigued about this and by this. And
I think a lot of us monster fans, we love our monsters, we love our Addams Family,
which we're getting a monster soon too, which I'm getting more hype for because Zombie's been sharing a lot of little behind the scenes pictures and stuff that look fucking awesome.
Yeah, and if you didn't hear me say it on a previous episode, Butch Patrick, aka Eddie Munster, he's going to be involved somehow. I'm not sure what he's doing, but they'll probably put him in. I hope to see him, have a cameo spot. But I think fans of both of those shows are gonna really watch any new version that comes out. Any like Addams Family cartoon, I'm gonna check it out. Addams Family related TV show, Munsters movie show, I'm gonna check it out.
I just hope everybody goes in with like an open mind. I don't want to hear all the usual fucking bitching and trashing. Oh, they shouldn't have remade it. It's different and this and that. And like, it's just accept that they're keeping these franchises alive. You know what I mean? But let's do it. We're gonna get to the those segments from the Crypticon vendors in a moment, but Crypto has something to share.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like late to the party with this one, but as a lifelong drummer, I just wanted to give a little tribute, rest in peace thing to Joey Jordison. the original drummer from Slipknot, for passing away. He was pretty much my favorite drummer of all time. You know, I like a lot of different drummers with different styles, but that guy seemed like an animal. He just motivated me to play, and I'd watch him and, you know, think that I could probably never do what he can do, and I'm still trying to do some of the things that he does, but he was very motivating, and he just had like a style of his own. You know, like you could tell when Joey was playing, and you know, I love the new drummer that's playing with them now, but again, different style. And so yeah, I hope Joey is not in pain anymore. I know he was kind of having some trouble in the end of his career, but he was still pushing on through the end. He's still played, you know, in multiple bands and projects. He played until the end. So anyway, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've heard people kind of giving tribute to him, and I wanted to say a little something myself. And so, yeah, I hope anyone that's listening that is a fan of Joey maybe feels the same way I do, you know. And
I think a lot of people do. Even, you know, I'm not a drummer or anything, barely a musician, but I know that he made his mark. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's a really talented dude, and he'll definitely won't be forgotten.
Yeah,
definitely won't be forgotten. But okay, after we brought it down a little notch, let's bring it back up and
let's bring it up again.
Let's bring it back up. And just a moment, right after a quick break, we will get to the Crypticon vendor segments, so you can meet some of the great artists and writers and retailers at Crypticon. End of August, last weekend of August. I couldn't tell you the date off the top of my head, but I believe it's the 26th through 28th. Friday through Sunday, the last Friday through Sunday in August. That's the days.
There you go.
Sorry, Crypticon, we love you, but I just dates escape me.
And if you don't have a calendar, then I'm sorry, we can't help you. We tried.
Get a calendar. You got a cell phone. You're probably streaming this on your phone through some podcast app, and I guarantee you got a calendar on that phone. So look it up, and we'll get to those segments right after this.
Check out these shows available now on Fearflix.
And welcome to another collection of frightfully good films from Fearflix, Gothic Horrors, with me, your host, Malvolia, the Queen of Screams.
Hey, I'm Pamela Such. You know me from all the Wave movies. And here we are, we're going to play Curse of the Swamp Creature 2.
Hello guys, I'm Rachel Waits.
And I'm Elise Costin.
Welcome to Silent Screams.
I'm Pamela Such.
I'm Monica Hayes. Thank you for tuning in to 70s Grindout on Fearflix.
Hey y'all, I'm Sherry Davis, your host for this wild and untamed collection of horror films from Fearflix. We wrangled up a selection of Texas horrors for this one. Welcome to Lone Star Horrors.
These shows, movies, and much more available now on Fearflix. Download it on your Roku channel store today.
Hey, we're on the Steven Crypto Show, and we are hanging with Travis Bundy, who is a Northwest guy. He basically, I've known him for a while from all the local conventions, and he's always really popular. He does a thing where he takes classic movie posters and just reimagines him the way he wants to see him, and with his art is like, it's kind of a comic book style, but it's really it's different. It's more bold and just, it's hard to explain. We're gonna let him tell us about it. We're gonna let him tell us about his background, what kind of stuff he's bringing to the show, and he's gonna tell us his website so you can go look and see this stuff for itself, for yourself. Can't even speak right now. But anyways, Travis, thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I'm fumbling my words here.
No, I think the word you were looking for is comic book photorealistic.
That's the word that I was looking for.
I try to get them as realistic as possible, but I'm not a painter like Drew Struzan, like my idol.
Right.
You know? Yeah. But I'm more of an illustrator. So I try to get it more of like, there's like, it's kind of a flat color. So it's almost like a hard mix between, Drew Struzan and like Patrick Nagel,
right.
Hard lines and flat colors, little minor gradients and stuff like that. But like, yeah, like I take movies that I loved that I feel like got really crappy posters and really crappy, like, VHS covers. And I want to give them the respect that they deserve. So I'll put together something that's a little bit more like, in your face and conceptual and has a little more pow to it. And that's kind of the angle that I go for. Like I could easily just do a pile of heads for anything, but I don't want to do that. I want to make it, something that people will love, but they'll also want to hang on their wall. So, like, hey, I love that movie, but this is just really cool art. Like the design is just really cool.
Yeah,
and that's what I challenge myself with every time.
And they all come off as, it's your style, but it's the real homage, like you say, to these movies.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing is that, like, I'll do like conventions and stuff, and with the exception of places like Crypticon, like I'll do like bigger conventions, like comic book based ones, and I don't cast a very wide net, but the net I cast has a very like definite group of people. So if they come by, they always, are appreciative that someone's here representing old, science fiction and horror films and action movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And that's why I love Crypticon, because that's my people. Like they are the video store generation. They love that retro kind of vibe. The classics to them are all the movies that I have done posters of, and we get to talk about that and about all the other movies and things we could do. And it's hands down my favorite show of the year. So I look forward to it. And I really missed doing it last year, so I can't wait for this year.
It was a bummer to not having it. But I mean, the world's got to heal, I guess. Fingers crossed it goes down this year. What you've done, there's such a long list of movies that you've covered in your posters. Was some of the horror themed stuff that you're going to be bringing to the show? Well,
I guess I'll bring the standards: Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. But as far as like new stuff, like I got a Phantasm one that hasn't really made the rounds. I've got probably my favorite post that I ever did, and I did it like 2 years ago. Was for Suspiria, the original Suspiria.
Right.
It just all fell together. It's just one of those pieces where, as an artist, you just have an idea and it just never relents, and it just all falls together, and it just turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. Like sometimes even better than I wanted it to. But I've got everything from that to like action-y horror stuff like The Wraith. I just finished one that's one of my favorite designs. It's very simple, but I love it. It's for The Gate, which is a movie that has a cool cover, but it always resonated as kind of like simple to me. So I wanted to do something, just pay homage to one of the movies that scared me almost to death as a child. And then, I've got stuff like Cat's Eye. I've got stuff like Dreamscape. I've got stuff like From Beyond. I try to cover the gamut,
It's definitely a pretty wide range.
It is a wide range. Yeah, you definitely cover a lot of ground. And, I haven't even seen Suspiria yet, but seeing your art for Suspiria makes me want to watch it. It looks very nice, very well done.
It's a great movie. It's probably one of Argento's more interesting films. You know, his movies can be a hot mess, but Suspiria doesn't ever let up.
And you know, of course, you're bringing plenty of horror-related things to Crypticon, but I noticed you have some video game art as well. I saw your Mega Man poster, and I love it.
Yeah, those are really fun. Those are kind of like, that was an experiment that I was trying, where I was like, you know what if we made, because I love old video game box art too, like the old video game box art where it was just like they were barely showing the guys any of the game, you know, but like and it was the same thing where it was like you had to get people enticed to something that wasn't up to like the snuff of like games now. Like games today, you could just show like gameplay and get people excited about it. But back then, like every game came with a book that had the story, because they couldn't even tell the story. They didn't even have the power to tell the story in the beginning. It just game started, boom. You know, you're Simon Belmont and you've got a whip, and then there's a bad guy. Like go for it. So I was like, well, what would be, you know, and video game movies, with the exception of, you know, and I know a lot of people are against this, but with the exception of the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, I don't think there's been a really good video game movie like ever truly made. The Resident Evil movies are okay, but they're not like the games.
Yeah, they don't necessarily stick to the story.
No,
they're fun.
Not really. They're fun and they're great. They're good action movies.
Yeah,
but they're not. They don't really follow the gameplay for the true fans. So I was like, well, what if somebody actually made like a real video game movie? And the best part about that is that since I'm such a movie nerd, I got to cast them, I got to design the poster, and then the best part, honestly, for all those is at the bottom I put like real credits. Like I get to pick who directs it, who does the cinematography, who does the music, everything. So it's like I'm building the movie in my mind for a movie that doesn't exist. So I've done Contra, Castlevania, Mega Man, and the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And I figured Link to the Past would work better because there's an actual story behind it and there's more characters. So I was like, yeah, it'd be fun. Plus, you know, it starts at the beginning and you can work your way out from there. But it's great. I get to cast, you know, like, you know, what was it? Clint Howard as Dr. Wily. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then for the Zelda one, you had Finn Wolfhard as Link.
Yeah.
I had to start envisioning that. Like, I can see that.
He would be
100% Link.
He would be
every time I see that kid, he's Link.
That is clever.
For sure, man. No, those were fun. Those are really fun. And the Contra one was probably the one that I get the most people commenting on, because it's Jason Momoa and you know, who's, you know, huge right now. And then you've got what's his name? It escapes me.
Josh
Brolin. Yeah, Josh Brolin. That was the first one I ever did. So I was like, okay, if you're going to do this, you better have a story in your head so that you can portray that story on there. So I made this whole pitch to myself, an elevator pitch to myself to get that thing made. So it was like, okay, he's the old guy and he's going one last trip into the jungle, and he's got this hot shot kid that's going to take over for him. And then they get there and everything goes wrong and they get some alien tech, and the only way off the island is through everything. It's like, that right there is like that. I would, if they made that movie, I would literally walk out of it, hand them more money, and go back in and watch it again.
I'd watch it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd do it all day long.
I've always thought Contra would make a good movie anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It's a badass action movie.
For sure.
The game itself is awesome.
Yeah, it's like don't even hide the fact that you can just they're kind of ripping off Predator a little bit, or Alien.
Yeah,
like,
it's all right though.
Roll with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's cool. I mean, most stuff you see nowadays is a rip off of something else anyways. So
yeah, there ain't much new under the sun.
Yeah, nothing new. So you can have a ton of different prints and stuff for sale.
Yeah, I also have a lot of stickers now.
Yeah, you got stickers. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Are you going to be doing?
That's one of the big things that people buy online.
One of my favorite things that you do at shows is your sketch cards that you knock out at the shows for people.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I barely have time to do those anymore.
Really?
Because I'm so busy selling the posters and stuff.
Right.
So typically what I do is if somebody wants a sketch card, I'll typically take like their information and I'll just mail it back to them. Because what I don't want to do is it's not that I don't enjoy doing them. I do enjoy doing sketch cards. I want to be able to make them really good because I'm putting my name on it, and this person's paying me money for it. I want to have a good time and I want to do it well. So if I'm in the show and I'm typically running the table by myself, having to stop and do it, I just can't get as many done in a row. So it's better if I can just focus my time after the show and then just mail it back to people. So that's kind of been the way that's been working. But no, they're fun. They're still fun. Every once in a while,
you'll still do it.
I'll still do it. I'll still do it if you pay for it.
I respect that. You don't want to do a rush job.
No, I don't want to do some half-assed artwork for somebody for actual money. It's essentially like you can either get a poster for $20 or you can get a little sketch card for $20, the size of a baseball card. So I want you to feel like your money was spent equally well. So.
I don't know. Where can people find you on social media, and where can people find your website? Where do you have an online store? Where's all that stuff at?
So the online portfolio is Thoughtbox Comics, spelled the way it actually is spelled, thoughtboxcomics.com. But on Facebook, I am just under my name, Travis Bundy. On Instagram, I'm at Bundy Mania because I'm a huge Hulk Hogan fan. And Etsy is Travis Bundy Art, like capital T, capital B, capital A. And that's where you can, and most of my social media is all like linked back to the Etsy store. So you can get all my posters, all my prints, everything I make, you can get there, and I ship anywhere.
Do you have any Crypticon exclusive print or anything planned?
I definitely do.
Yeah. Anything you could tease or?
Well, I'll tell you all about it. I've already posted a lot of them on there. So, so my absolute hero, Joe Bob Briggs, is supposed to be at Crypticon this year. I actually did this piece last year when I thought he was going to be there, or he was going to be there, and then they canceled the whole show. So, and then I looked at it for a year, and I refined it, and I changed a few things, and I made it a lot better. So I did a piece that chronicles the era of Joe Bob Briggs that I grew up with, and that's his era when he was on the movie channel. And it's basically him, with his beer, leaning on a drive-in movie sign. There's cars parked there. There's the screen is up, and then behind him is a giant blood splatter. And in the blood splatter are all of or not all, but a bunch of the most influential movies that he brought my attention to. So movies like Sleepaway Camp. I got the Felissa Rose Scream picture in there. I've got Nightbreed. I've got Frankenhooker. I've got the imp from Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama. I'm doing deep cuts into this thing. I got Jason in there too, and the ball from Phantasm and stuff. But for the most part, it's deep cuts. I try to get some deep cuts in there, and they're all movies that are important to me and that I found through Joe Bob Briggs. And so it's an homage piece, mostly just because he was so influential to not just, why I do art, but the type of art that I do, and the community that he surrounds. He's a pillar of that community, and I want to say thanks. Plus, I'm the only person I've ever really met who has a Joe Bob Briggs Iron Man citation, and I'm going to take that to him. I sent it to him, and he already talked to me about it a little bit. He was like, "I haven't seen one of these in 40 years," so I'm bringing that. I'm going to have him re-sign it. I'm going to get a picture with him with that. That's
nice.
Going to be a dream come true.
And you got to make sure to get one of your prints in his hands too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if it comes down to I'll offer my standard deal that I offered to Carl Weathers and basically anybody I've done a poster for that I meet at a show. I say, if you want the original art, like the file, and you want to print these and sell them for autographs, it's yours.
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge anybody for anything.
Right.
I literally will just send your people the file. You can print as many as you want and sell them all you want. I don't care because I owe them that.
Yeah. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate show of respect to them. Yeah.
Yeah. The ultimate give back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've given me so much for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the least I can do.
Yeah. Has anybody taken you up on that and done it?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if they actually ever printed any, but I spoke with Carl Weathers about it when I did his Action Jackson and his Apollo Creed piece. Barbara Crampton took 25 copies of the From Beyond piece from me at Crypticon 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And I handed her one to get say thank you. And she came by the booth later and was like, "How do I get some of those?" And I just literally took a stack and just handed them to her.
There you go. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. She's always super cool at shows. She's like one of the sweetest people online at shows. She's cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Travis Bundy, thank you for taking a few minutes and hanging out. And we will see you at Crypticon. And anybody who don't make it to Crypticon, you got his info. Check out his shop. Check out his site.
Go on there, look at the posters, look at the prints.
Hits you right in the childhood.
In the childhood. You go through, I guarantee you're gonna find something that you love. Some movie, some game, there's something there for everybody. It's such like a wide range of stuff. It's crazy.
You'll be like us. You'll probably have a hard choice, deciding.
Yeah. I don't make it easy.
No. But yeah, man, thanks again, and we will see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Felissa Rose, Angela from Sleepaway Camp. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show, and we are so excited to see you at Seattle Crypticon. Woohoo!
Hey, we're on the Steve and Crypto Show doing our Crypticon preview stuff. We have another interesting vendor, writer, illustrator. She does a little bit of everything. She just creates the whole deal, the whole story from writing to. There's not much I can say. She does it all. She's a podcaster, which we just found out. She's going to tell us about that in a moment. And she will be at Crypticon at the end of August. So if you are local in the Northwest, come to Crypticon and hang out. It's a good time. We're just talking before we got rolling here. That's my personal favorite con. Not only because I love horror, but it's just the vibe is just cool. It's just a chill, relaxed vibe. But we have Elizabeth Guzzetti here to tell us about a couple of her books and some other projects she's working on and what she's going to bring to the show. So good to meet you. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking the time. So let's dig right in. Let's hear about some books.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to be bringing several different things to Crypticon. Including some of my old illustration projects. And I have a ton of brand new posters with vampires. But I'm primarily going to promote my new vampire books and podcasts in the Paperflower Consortium universe. Some listeners may be familiar with Immortal House, which is a novella about Lawrence Rock, who might be the worst vampire in Seattle. And he's just trying to purchase his forever home. And as you can imagine, he has a budget. Seattle real estate is terribly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say a vampire with a budget. It's definitely unique. I dig that.
Yeah, that's a really cool take on vampires we haven't really seen yet.
Yeah, usually it's like the vampire is like some rich or like aristocratic, you know what I mean? Like
they have a giant castle. We don't really know how they got it.
Yeah. But
sorry. Well, one of the things about all the vampires in the universe is they have to actually live in the universe, right? Yeah. So they went through the Great Depression. That's how Lawrence lost most of his money the last time. And then because he was a vampire, he couldn't go to World War II. And so he stood out about being a younger man in Seattle. So he started limping just so nobody bothered him. And he worked as a waiter. And that was the only job he could get for a long time, and sort of fell into debt. And it's really easy for anybody to do that, including a vampire. And now the funny thing is that when I wrote Immortal House, I foolishly gave Lawrence a bunch of friends. And then people wanted books about those friends, especially Norma May Rollins, who has always been kind of like a fan favorite. She's the quintessential too young vampire, but she has always refused to be anybody's tragedy. And she stars in her own books, such as Death Takes a Stakeout. But over the pandemic, I started working on the podcast. And what the podcast is basically, if you were an initiate, someone who wanted to be a vampire, the Coven has a 3-year program. And so the podcast is me as Loretta, who is a former lady of the Kingdom of France. Obviously, the Kingdom of France is gone. Now it's a different kind of country. And she does the initiation program. But Norma was one of the last illegal vampires who survived the rite. And she has her origin story, which is what fans of the podcast wanted. And so this is the first convention it's going to be at. It's called Accident Among Vampires, or What Would Dracula Do? And it's an epistolary novel. And basically the book's set in 1951 and 52. And her progenitor, Bill, definitely did not mean to transform her. He meant to use her as a scientific experiment and eat her. But obviously she went down fighting and bit his hand, and then she became a vampire. Now, Bill was a little bit lonely, and he sort of has a morbid curiosity. So he decided to keep her as his daughter. And when Norma wants to go home, she knows that due to her bloodlust, if she goes home, she's going to eat her mom and her dog and probably some of her friends. So she stays with Bill and other vampires who think that she shouldn't exist. And that's what the newest book is about.
And it ties into the podcast.
And it ties into the podcast. In fact, we did 6 episodes this last season about this story, because that's the one that everyone voted for.
I dig it. I like how you give even the undead are safe from real world problems. I like that.
No.
I like that. Crazy family and paying taxes and paying bills and being broke and back to crazy families and all that. Oh, that's wild. I like that. Are you gonna be recording any of the podcasts at the convention, or are you just gonna be promoting it and trying to get the word out?
I'm not sure if I will be recording, but I have considered it. Right. Mostly, I know I will be at my table,
right,
which is table 124, and I don't know exactly how I would set it up so I could record there, as in and not just hear a bunch of background noise.
Right. But you know your table number, so you said 124.
Yeah, 124.
So make sure you guys listening, if you show up Crypticon, table 124, stop by, learn more about her show, learn about her books. Where can people find you online and on social media?
Well, my website is elizabethgazzetti.com, and that is ELIZABETHGUIZZETTI.com.
I'll make sure to post that too.
I know how many double letters my name has. And then my Facebook is elizabeth.gazzetti.author. And then my Instagram and Twitter are the same. It's at @E_Gazzetti.
Okay. And people can probably link to it from your website too.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Perfect.
And anything they want to know, my website has links to. So,
and can people that aren't making it to the show find your book online?
Yeah.
Your books?
My books.
Yeah.
You can find almost all of them at either Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And then, but also you can buy it on the shop that's connected to my website. Especially if you want a signed copy, that's one of the easiest ways. It's just to order off my website. I sign everything.
Right.
Most collectors do. Most people like us that collect things that, we definitely want the signed copy. So yeah, anybody listening, definitely go check it out there and get the signed one.
I always like to order direct too, because I know the creator gets a little more of the kickback and stuff from it. So that's the way to do it. So if you want to get her book, I'm sure she's happy to have you get it at Barnes and Noble and Amazon, but go to her website, check it out. I was checking it out earlier, and it's got a lot of interesting tidbits about the books, and you can just order it there. And the price is probably better too, but
and all the books have a preview chapter, so you can read. You can kind of get an idea of the kind of writing I do from that too.
Okay, right on. Well, we thank you for taking a few minutes to come and tell us about what you're going to be having at the show, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Great, I look forward to seeing you as well.
Yeah,
thanks,
thank you for being on.
You guys go to her website, check it out. It's Elizabeth Guzzetti.
Go to the website, and if you're going to Crypticon, again, table 124.
All right, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we are on the Stephen Crypto Show, hanging out with Audrey Funk, better known as the Mad Monster Lady. If you're from the Northwest here and beyond, you know her art. I see huge influence from legends like Basil Golgos, who I think is one of the premier horror artists ever. She's going to be showing her art and selling stuff at Crypticon, which is coming up really soon. That's why we're doing this episode, to feature some of our favorite vendors that we're going to have there, and artists and creators. So those are our people. And Mad Monster Lady,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So tell us all about it. Tell us influences, how you got started, some of your art background.
Well, influences are obviously the classic Universal monsters. Since I was a little kid, I've just loved Universal Studios monsters. Frankenstein's monster being my favorite, Boris Karloff, all those things. I was just always attracted to monsters and Halloween, and so it's just been with me kind of like my whole life. Art influences, like you said, Go-Go's for sure. Famous Monsters. So I was a little kid looking at Famous Monsters and seeing his artwork and stuff and just being totally mesmerized by it. My art background, I am actually an art teacher. So I teach high school art. I never went to art school. I got in to art school. I just never went because things didn't line up for me that way. But how I just started, I don't know, kind of trucking at it every single day, like working at my art every single day. And it's still something I make a rule to do every single day, is to do art, because just like any other skill, art is a skill, and it gets better the more that you do it. So I try with my monsters and stuff, I try to bring a humanity to them, because I feel like a lot of the classic monsters have this sadness and stuff to them. And I try to bring that to life in my paintings and stuff like that. So
very cool. And
you say you teach art. I was going to ask, what do your students think of your work?
Do they think I'm weird? But I think that's good. Like, being weird is good. Being an individual is a good thing. My whole classroom looks like my house, which you can't see. This is just, part of my books, but like, it's covered in monsters, covered in Halloween stuff. I dress like a kooky weirdo, like I wear Halloween leggings, I wear monster earrings all year long. And I do paint in class when they're working on their art. I'll bring in whatever I'm working on. And I think it's really good for them to see that I have experience, and they can get influenced off of stuff I do also. So there's like, the way I do my backgrounds, I've seen kids doing that to their backgrounds when they do paintings and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Gotta make you feel good.
Yeah, it's cool to see that they're like influenced by or want to do things the way I do things, which is I love that. I think that's super cool. So if I can influence a kid to, want to do painting, I've had a lot of kids that end up want to be art teachers because they see what a cool job it is. I get to talk about art all day and do art myself. It's just like the coolest job ever. So
that's cool.
I mean, I wish I had a cool teacher like that in school. Mine were all boring. Like even the art teacher was just like a weirdo, like not the cool kind of weird, not like us. You know what I mean? Not like the cool weird like us. They were just like weird. Like should this person be around kids all the time? Like, but, no, that's cool.
And on top of that, you're sitting there bored. Like I don't want to paint a fruit basket. I want to paint Frankenstein.
Right? Yeah, right. I want to paint monsters. Yeah. And then the classroom decorated is really cool. But yeah, Crypticon, what kind of stuff are you going to be bringing to your table?
So I'm going to be doing my normal prints that I sell at different places, but I'm also going to have some like original paintings. I'm going to try to have some original like menu pieces. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but I paint things on like old like vintage menus, so like Creature from the Black Lagoon or Leatherface. I've painted on like old menus and stuff like that. So I try to have like some smaller things, but the main thing is just the prints. People come to see, they want the prints,
Yep, snatch them up. That's cool. I see. I dig that. It's a way. I mean, everybody wants a piece of art, but sometimes budget wise it's kind of hard to get.
Definitely. Yeah, it's an affordable way to collect art, and that's how they kind of back in the day, that's how a lot of artists like let's say like Albert Durr, like that's how he became famous. Like people couldn't afford to buy one of his paintings, but they could afford to get a print, and then that helped to make people like him famous. So it's kind of cool that prints and stuff can kind of get out to, I mean, I've sold prints all over the world different people, so it's crazy. It's cool.
So since you mentioned they sell them all over the world, where can people find your online gallery and your shop and everything? So
my main place where I post a lot of stuff is Instagram, so it's just at Mad Monster Lady, but then my website is www.madmonsterlady.com, and that link's also on the Instagram, like in the bio or whatever. But yeah, that's the places I try to stay away from, like Facebook, and it's just not for me,
Yeah.
So yeah,
right. Well, yeah, definitely. People listening, check her art out. You'll dig it. If you're gonna be at Crypticon, you definitely have to swing by her table, grab a print or two. I'm personally looking forward to coming checking out some of the menus if you bring some. Those are cool. I don't think I've seen those, so that's a pretty neat idea. I dig that. When we first started chatting, you mentioned being influenced by famous monsters. If I'm not mistaken, you've actually had art appear in Famous Monsters.
Yeah, I won a contest that they put on. And so then I had my art featured in one of the magazines. I think it was 2017, one of their annuals, because they're gone now.
Yeah, really I know they pop up randomly with like.
Well, and there's people really trying behind the scenes trying to bring it back. So hopefully
that'd be cool.
Come back. But yeah, it's just kind of like a dream come true for this monster kid to have my name and my artwork in Famous Monsters. So it's cool.
So what are some other cool honors that you might have gotten through your art?
Well, I've gotten to meet a lot of really cool people through my art, and so it's kind of like through Instagram, then it kind of piggybacks to where then I get to meet them. Like I've did a painting for Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
Oh wow.
And I got to meet him and the rest of the band at S&M too.
Right.
Which is pretty neat. I did a painting for Piggy D, so Rob Zombie's bass player. And then because of that, I got to go backstage and meet Piggy D, and I got to meet Rob Zombie, and I got to meet, John 5 and stuff. And So just kind of like this little like Instagram has just totally like opened up these doors where, you know, I mean, I did a painting for Zach Wilde, you know, just like just crazy stuff. Like, you know, I'm growing up listening to them and then I'm doing paintings. So
then you get a message like, hey, this is Zach Wilde. Can you paint something for me?
Yeah, it was more like me pursuing them a couple times, but
hey, they still got your art.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some of those interactions might have been brief, but I know some of those people do art themselves. Did you get a chance to talk to any of those people that you have done art for about art in general? You guys get to kind of pick each other's brains?
Yeah, like Peggy D is super cool. Like I got to talk to him the longest, and we still talk, and we did a t-shirt collab. So where he took my art and then he did his own kind of spin on top of my art, which was really cool. But like, you know, Rob Zombie, I didn't really get to talk to him for very long, you know. Right. But I did, you know, he saw the painting that I did for Peggy D and thought it was cool, and he's really, really nice guy. But I didn't unfortunately get to talk to him about art. So,
well, kind of sort of off topic, but kind of on topic. Obviously you probably love the Munsters. What do you think of Zombie doing the Munsters movie?
I am so excited, honestly, because Rob Zombie loves the Munsters. Like if you've ever seen that old MTV Cribs of them showing him in Sherry's house, you know, where they show his Munsters collection is pretty epic. And so I know that he has a deep love for the Munsters, and that he is like the only person I would trust to do a Munsters movie, honestly.
Yeah.
So I am really excited.
I think that the love he has for it, he'll have no other choice but to do it justice. You know,
I have faith in him. I think he can do it.
That and all the teasers that we've been seeing look really good. You know what I mean?
and from what I've heard, Butch Patrick is involved somehow. I guess he's been working on the movie. Yeah, I'm interested if he's going to be in there, maybe as like a neighbor or.
He will totally, knowing Rob, he'll totally be in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he'll totally put Butch.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, thank you for hanging out. Run your social media and all that info by everybody again.
Yeah, it's at Mad Monster Lady on Instagram, and then you can get my website for my shop. Is just www.madmonsterlady.com.
Sweet. Make sure you guys go check it out. And like I said, she'll be at Crypticon. Go say hi to her. Tell her I heard you on Steve and Crypto, and that was awesome, and all that good stuff. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we're on the Steve and Crypto Show doing another segment with a great vendor for Crypticon, which is the last weekend of August. I am chatting with Gwen, half of the owners from Arkham Bazaar, a great website dedicated to H.P. Lovecraft themed art and t-shirts and collectibles and all kinds of other merch. Gwen, tell us about the site, tell us how you got started and all the important info that people need to hear.
Thanks. Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me on the show. Hello, Steve and Crypto and Steve listeners. Thanks for listening. Our website is arkhambazaar.com, and that's ARKHAMBAZAAR.com. And fun fact, Arkham Asylum and Batman is based on Lovecraft's Arkham, which is a fictional city that he wrote about. But the Batman writers were all Lovecraft fans, so some of that seeps into their writing as well. So our company, we started out making t-shirts in our bathroom in New Orleans in 2002. And then over the years, we've just kind of built from there, moved up to like an actual steel press instead of the plywood and 2x4 one that we built for ourselves, and have just been making t-shirts and then expanded into making cool jewelry. We just did last year did a campaign to make tie bars, cufflinks, pendants, stick pins, in a Miskatonic University design and a Cthulhu design. And we also make wood and acrylic jewelry. We take a lot of our designs, and we have a friend who makes this really awesome etched glassware, and he does our designs on the coolest shot glasses and beer glasses that you've ever seen. We also did a Cthulhu Tiki mug a while back, and we still have some of those that we'll be bringing with us to Crypticon. We also run the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival. We took over, running and producing that in 2011 from the founder, Andrew Migliori. And since we started doing Kickstarters to help fund the festival, because they are it's unimaginable how much work and expense goes into it. And ticket sales alone just never cover everything. So we've been doing these fun Kickstarters for people to get extra stuff and just to kind of get some of our upfront expenses paid. But in 2014, we made a stretch goal that we were like, well, a lot of people don't see these short films that are cosmic horror and Lovecraft adaptations after the festivals are done. So let's collect some of them, put them on a DVD, and pay the filmmakers royalties. So we weren't really expecting that we would get to that stretch goal, but we did. And so ever since 2014, we've been putting out a yearly best of collection on DVD. And starting in 2018, we started doing them on Blu-ray too. So we've got 2 Blu-ray collections right now, in addition to all the DVDs. We'll be bringing those with us to Crypticon as well. But most of what we do is make t-shirts, and Brian does the bulk of the design work on them. I like to say I'm the editor, because if he gets stuck, sometimes he asks me for feedback, and I have a background in art as well. And, we just kind of collaborate on everything. I do most of the printing, and we do everything in-house with that. We make the screens, we decide what it's going to look like. We get the blank shirts, we print them all, and then we print them and ship them. So when you order stuff from us, it's all made here in our workshop. And it allows us to kind of have better quality control on everything, make sure everything looks good, make sure it's straight on the t-shirt, make sure it's not cracking or anything like that. And then we make all of our designs on unisex and women's fitted tees. We do have a bunch of designs on tank tops, do a bunch of designs on button-up work shirts like Dickies and Red Cap work shirts, and zip-up hoodies, because we live in the Pacific Northwest and everyone needs a hoodie every day during the fall and winter.
Yep.
And let's see, for the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival, we've also started working with authors to do a fun Challenge from Beyond collection every year. And that's a round robin story where we have between 6 and 8 authors usually that are working in cosmic horror and weird fiction. And we make them, it's a challenge. So the first author starts, and then the second author picks up where they left off, and they can take it in whatever direction they want to. But what you end up with is a complete story that nobody knows what it's going to be until it's written at the end. And then each segment is in that author's style. So you can kind of get this transition between dreamy and, noir detective kind of thing, or pulpy, or just really poetic, weird fiction and cosmic horror woven into this story, which is nice. And we put out a limited collection of those. So we'll be bringing some of those with us that we have left. We've also got cool stickers for your books and laptops and bikes and skateboards and things. And we also carry the full Dagan Industries catalog. And he is the guy who made the original Cthulhu fish for your car. And he also does cool bandanas and more pins and car stickers and things like that. What else did I forget? Did I forget something? Oh, we also run Portland Horror Film Festival here in Portland.
Can't forget that.
Yeah. So we definitely like the horror films, and almost all of our designs reflect that. They are all of them in some way horror or occult or related to Lovecraft and the mythos and cosmic horror.
Cool. So it sounds like to the Crypticon, you're going to bring a little bit of everything that you carry in your shop.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have a lot of t-shirts and work shorts. Maybe some hoodies. It's, it's hard to think about hoodies when it's blazing hot in the summer. But we'll have a few of those. And we'll definitely be bringing our DVD collections that we have left. We do limited editions on those. So we are out of the 2014 and 2015 collections. But we'll be bringing 2016, 2017, 2018 on DVD and Blu-ray, 2019 on DVD and Blu-ray. And then we've got 2 classics volumes and a feature film that we'll be bringing with us as well. And then a smattering of all of our jewelry and some glassware and shot glasses and a few books and stickers and things like that. So we like to call our booth your one-stop Cthulhu shop. But it is a little more than just Cthulhu in our booth. So everything kind of related to weird horror, you can find it at our booth. And we've got a corner booth at Crypticon, and we'll be there all day. We're also doing, we were asked by Crypticon to do an hour program of the Best of H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival, and that'll be happening Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. And then Best of Portland Horror Film Festival, which will be happening Saturday from 8 to 9 p.m.
Very cool. Besides getting your products out and the art and stuff for people to see, what do you guys look forward to the most at these kind of conventions?
We don't have a brick and mortar store. We're just online. And so a lot of times people are like, oh, what's your day like? And it's us in our office or in the workshop or packaging and then running to the post office and then doing it all over again. So we don't interact with a whole lot of people during the day or during the week. So when we go to conventions like Crypticon, it's really great to be able to interact with the people who are buying our shirts and art and the DVDs and getting to talk to them and seeing what they like and seeing their reactions to like our new products and things like that, and getting to know our customers and like we've become friends with a lot of them. So we really look forward to that. I mean, that's something we've been missing a lot since March of 2020. So we're really looking forward to getting back to Crypticon and seeing everybody in person.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be nice to be around our people again. Definitely been too long. Where, for people listening that aren't from the area and not attending, where can they find you? You already mentioned a website. Run that by us again. And where on social media can we find you and the film festivals and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So our retail site is arkhambazaar.com. And that's ARKHAMBAZAAR.com. And if you want to sign up for our newsletter, you can find it on the website. And we basically just send out newsletters when we have like new products, or if we're running a promotion or a special, or around the holidays when we've got like our gift guides and things like that. But we try to keep those kind of minimal, maybe once a month. And that's actually overstating probably. And then you can find Arkham Bazaar on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Arkham Bazaar for all 3 of them. And then for HP Lovecraft Film Festival, you can find us at hpLFF.com. We are at HPLFF on Twitter and HPL Film Festival on Instagram, and I think HP Lovecraft Film Festival on Facebook. And then Portland Horror is portlandhorrorfilmfestival.com. And then Instagram and Twitter are at Portland Horror, and Facebook is Portland Horror Film Festival. And both of the festival sites also have newsletters if you want to sign up to find out when the events are going to be, when the HP Lovecraft Film Festival Kickstarter is going to come out, when we put advanced ticket sales on, once we, announce all the films and schedules and things like that. The easiest way, instead of trying to track us down on all the social medias, is just to sign up for the newsletter, because then it comes straight into your inbox and you don't have to hunt for it.
We're a society that appreciates convenience. So, so there's that. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Yes, we do in fact have the HP Lovecraft Film Festival in Portland coming up October 1st to the 3rd at the Hollywood Theater. And we also actually this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 20th to the 22nd, we will be in Providence, Rhode Island. So if you've got any East Coast listeners, they can come see 3 days of new short and feature cosmic horror films at the Columbus Theater, located at 270 Broadway in Providence, Rhode Island.
Very cool. Well, hey, thank you, Gwen. And how you doing, Brian? Thank you guys for taking a few minutes. We will see you at Crypticon. And I'll make sure to link up the Arkham Bazaar website on this episode. We will see you guys in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you again to everybody who came and told us about their wares that they'll be selling at Crypticon and stuff you can find online. Arkham Bazaar with all their Lovecraftian collectibles and t-shirts and stuff. Elizabeth Gazzetti with her vampire novels and Mad Monster Lady. Her fucking art is amazing. Travis Bundy, an old friend who I've always been a fan of his work. Thank you all for coming on. Be sure to come back next week. Felissa Rose, Angela, the Mango Dick expert, will be here. I meant to mention before, want to give a little shout out to a couple of friends of the show. They just announced the Horror Host Hall of Fame class of 2021. And a few friends of the show and of TheSteveStrout.com actually got inducted in the Horror Host Hall of Fame, which to me, I think is a huge thing.
Yeah.
It maybe not for everybody, but a few people. Lord Bloodraw got in. He's a California host. He's awesome. Mr. Lobo, who is one of the best. He's been, both of those guys have been around 20 years. Our buddy Raina Young, aka Miss Misery, who is part of an earlier episode. She's a Hall of Famer. Congrats, Raina. That's awesome. You deserve it. You're a hard worker. A couple other people, Count Floyd, Grimsley. There's a few others. Go search for the official Horror Host Hall of Fame on Facebook, and you can see the whole class of 2021 inductee list. And so, yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm happy for them all. Congrats to them all. And before we wrap this episode up.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, make sure that you visit buymeacoffee.com. When you're done listening to this episode, go over to buymeacoffee.com.
No, stop. Just stop what you're doing right now. Pause it. Go over
there. No,
they
don't have to stop now. No. Finish the app. Yeah, finish the episode.
What if they stop now? They go there, show us some love, finish the episode, and realize, oh my God, that was a really good episode. And then they go back again.
Fuck what I said. Do what Steve said. So you can contribute at buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. Kick us a couple bucks to help out the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you again to anyone who contributed so far. And also be sure that you go to frightrags.com.
Fright-rags.com.
Ooh, look at that. We did it at the exact same time. Fright-rags.com. Go there, visit the Candyman collection. Go check all that out. Check out the Killer Clowns set. They have the Back to the Future set, as you were talking about. I'm sure they have some Friday the 13th gear, Halloween gear. I mean, there's something for everyone. If you like horror, and if you listen to us show, if you're listening to our show,
get in there fast because a lot of their collections sell out. So get in there before it's too late. You ain't getting shit.
Right.
You have to wait. You have to wait for a reprint, which is still cool, which you should do anyways. But get over there, fright-rags.com. Get some stuff from them.
Type in that Steve Crypto 10. Save you a couple bucks to check out. And I can't stress it enough. If you're into horror, if you're listening to us, you're probably into horror. They're going to have something there for you.
That's for sure. don't forget Crypticon, end of this month. We should be there unless COVID don't let us. But we should be there, and we'll have stickers and stuff. So if you see us, say, "Hey, ain't you the guy from that show that I heard that one time?" And yeah, shout at us. We'll give you stickers or something.
I'm hoping to bust my crypto cherry and go check it out for the first time.
That sounds weird, but that's cool. Good luck with that. Use protection. I mean,
no, just you've been trying to get me to go for the longest time, man, and there's always been something in the way. So I'm really hoping I can attend this time.
Yes, you got this. We'll see you at Crypticon. We'll see everybody listening at Crypticon. And we have been the Steve and Crypto Show. We will see you next week with our friend Felissa Rose.
That's right. Catch you then. Peace.